Hey founders, quick hook, two cars that are light, one shiny, one old. Who do you think owns more?
You'll be shocked. The shiny car often has a loan the other owns outright.
Welcome to the Founder Mindset. I'm Maya and this is episode 5 Rich versus Wealthy. We've got Pranay Mahindrakar here. He's built books, IP, and companies that still pay him while he sleeps.
Nice to be here, Maya. I promised you a story. Rich looks are the visible markers, but wealth is quiet ownership of assets. Let's dive in.
First question: what does it mean to be rich versus wealthy? How do we distinguish them?
Rich means what you spend out front. You buy a luxury car, pay the EMIs. Wealth is what you keep, cash flow from assets that earn while you sleep.
So it's all about income versus ownership.
Exactly, income is money you trade your hours for. Ownership gives you equity that keeps generating revenue without more hours.
Can you share a real example of how this plays out in practice?
Take Radhakishan Damani. He bought DMart, but he owns the stores too. Each store is an asset that pulls revenue, not just a rental expense.
What makes that different from someone buying a car on a loan?
A loan creates a liability, money owed every month that drains cash flow. A store generates monthly cash inflows. It's the opposite side of the ledger.
You mentioned an asset first rule. How does that work step by step?
First, track your true cash flow for a full month, not a budget but what actually goes in and out. Then, before any purchase, ask is this an asset or liability? If it's a liability, only buy if you can pay with surplus cash.
So, no more buying on credit just to look affluent.
Exactly, a luxury watch financed by EMIs looks good but erodes your future earning potential. Own the asset, now let it generate income later.
You also talked about a fixed slice toward assets before lifestyle spending.
Yes, set aside, say 20% of net cash each month for high quality passive investments, real estate, digital products, equity stakes, then spend the rest.
Is that how you built your courses?
I did it a decade ago when I was paid hourly. I kept investing my overtime in building a library of content. Now each book or module earns revenue 24/7.
What if the market changes? How do you protect those assets?
Diversify. Don't put all eggs in one basket. If a property value dips, have at least two other income streams. That's the wealth buffer.
Let me ask something that probably scares many founders. How do you stay disciplined?
Set up an automated system, payroll to savings accounts, recurring investment apps. The more automation, the less temptation.
Are there mental models that guide this approach?
First principles thinking, break everything down to core economics and a cost benefit matrix for each purchase. Is it increasing future cash flow or just an expense?
What about people who need to invest in their startup? How do you reconcile spending with asset building?
Allocate a growth budget that's separate from personal living expenses. Fund your startup out of the income stream you build, not personal debt.
You mentioned a challenge for listeners. What does that look like?
Track your cash flow over 30 days. Before any purchase, write asset or liability on the invoice. When you see a pattern, adjust your spending.
Any real stories of people who changed their life with this rule?
I once met an entrepreneur paying high EMIs for a luxury car. After 1 month of cash flow tracking, he realized the loan drained his savings. He paid it off in 18 months and used the freed cash to buy rental property.
So you pay down liabilities first, then focus on assets?
Exactly. Pay debts, then build a portfolio that pays back those debts faster.
If we sum this up, track real cash flow, ask asset or liability, allocate to high quality passive income, and automate, you'll get richer or wealthier.
You become wealthier. The shiny thing might be gone, but your bank balance grows quietly.
Let's jump straight into it. If you're buying cars, homes, or even gadgets, do you pause to ask if they'll pay you back?
Exactly, Maya. Think of your purchase as a question, asset or liability. An asset brings income, a liability drains cash flow. A good rule is before any spend, write that note on your phone.
Got it. How do you actually know the difference if some things look useful?
Look at the payoff curve. Assets, dividends, or rent that exceed cost over 5 to 10 years. Liabilities, interest, and maintenance that grow without return. A car loan fits the latter, rental property can fit the former.
You mentioned a 1 month cash flow truth exercise. What should listeners do exactly?
Grab every transaction, income, bills, coffee, gifts for 30 days, log them, then categorize income, asset outlay, liability spend, lifestyle fun. The goal is to see where your money goes.
And once that map's done, how do you shift? Do we just cut spending?
First priority, pay off high interest debt. That clears the path. Second, allocate a fixed slice, say 20% to assets before lifestyle items. Reverse the usual flow.
Let's talk frameworks. Is there a specific step by step plan for building wealth?
I call it the asset first funnel. Step 1, map your cash flow. 2, identify debt and pay it off in order of interest rate. 3, for each dollar left over, split into 3 buckets. Emergency 10%, investment 70%, fund 20%. 4, put investments into passive streams, index funds, REITs, or a side business.
What about real estate? Some listeners ask if it's worth the hassle.
Real estate can be the cornerstone of wealth because you own physical property that appreciates. Pick a high ROI location, lease out space to stable tenants. The rent covers mortgage and generates extra cash.
You referenced DMart founder Radhakishan Damani earlier. What key lesson does his style teach?
He owned the stores he ran, not just leased them. That means he had equity, not just rent income. Plus, he focused on low cost and disciplined growth. No flashy expansion, just owning the land.
If a listener wants to start small, say build an online course, how do they keep it asset first?
Create a high quality curriculum once, host it on a platform that gives you control or self host via a CDN. The content stays with you. Each sale pays for the original effort, no new labor.
Is there a mindset shift when choosing what to invest in?
Absolutely ask if the asset will outgrow its cost over time. If your monthly cost is 500 and it can generate 1000 annually, that's a win. Always forecast cash flow.
Okay, now the mid roll pause. Maya asks listeners to share or subscribe. If this talk helps you reframe spending, give us a like, subscribe, or share with someone who needs a money makeover. Back on track, what's a quick rule for deciding an asset purchase?
A 1 minute check. Will the asset generate income or appreciation in less than 2 years? If yes, it's worth it. If not, reconsider.
You talk about owning versus renting everything. Any quick math to show the impact?
Sure, own a house costing 4 lakh rupees with a 20% down payment of 80,000. Mortgage at 12% over 20 years gives monthly payments around 450. If you rent, you'd pay that same amount plus maintenance. No equity built.
What if the market is volatile? How do we guard against asset loss?
Diversify across asset classes. Put a portion into liquid equities, some in real estate and some in low risk fixed income. Risk management is like insurance on your wealth.
So, recap, what are the key takeaways listeners should remember today?
First, everything you buy must be weighed as asset or liability before purchase. Second, prioritize debt repayment and then allocate a fixed portion to assets. Third, treat ownership like a passive income machine that pays you while you sleep.
Pranay, thanks for the clear roadmap. If listeners want deeper dive into building a side business that turns into an asset, what should they look at next?
Check out my upcoming workshop on creating productized services that run autonomously, step by step blueprint with real templates.
Thanks again, and a huge shout out to our listeners. Remember, subscribe for more mindset hacks. Next week, we'll explore the mental models successful founders actually use. Until next time, keep owning wisely, the Founder Mindset Podcast. Bye.